just because I didn't want to look at myself so much. And I felt like the more I watched it, the more critical I got of myself. Like first time I was like, wow, nice, I like it. Second time I was like, oh, you could have done that differently, you could have done that. The third time I was like getting irritated with myself. Then I was like, let's stop. Let's not watch. It was more like I was scared to say that I want to do this. You know, I had my own issues that I had to deal with before I was like more, projected. I mean, said what I wanted to do with my life. Like I wasn't as relevant or as tracked as like a stars kid who's like literally tracked from birth till like every life
Everything
event
is on screen.
Yeah, nobody really knew me until I was like, I think until I started making myself get seen by me calling media and all of that. Yes, I do come from privilege and I'm completely aware of that. But I still didn't have, like, nobody knew me, nobody knew about my family. Someone like, he was like, you may be getting a lot of praise and all that. That's good, but don't settle just because you've done well. It's the perfect time to be a non-competitive person in this.
But before the film released, you were Salman Khan's niece, what people were seeing.
Yeah.
But do you feel that kind of perception has somewhat started to change?
One of the things is that I saw an article, organic article, so not PR wala article, that was there, that was written about me, and they actually wrote that she's finally creating her own identity, and I was like, okay, yes, like one person, because it was difficult for me in a project that's already being headed by my family to have that impact.
What I'm about to say in my introduction is 100% honest. I'm just declaring it because some people might think it's not. So after a long time, I watched the film first day, first show. Sorry, not first show, but yeah, first day, the second or third show, because I can't wake up that early.
Because of Zen.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying this. Yeah, so I went in watching Farrey because the love I had for one person in the film.
Zen.
But when I came out of the film, I was in love with three more people, sorry. But one of them a little bit more because she was a scholastic student and I was one of them. So I had a little bit of relatability there as well. And after last interaction, I think I have developed a soft corner for her. And today I feel very happy and excited as I'm sitting next to her for a one-on-one conversation. So join me as I welcome Alizeh, only on Bollywood Bubble. Firstly, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
See, I have given a disclaimer already that it was 100% honest. I went in loving Zen, but I have come out loving all of you. But as I said, scholastic student, so wo padhai ka bahut wo hota hai. How was it like seeing yourself on the big screen, on the 70mm for the first time? Be it for the private screening or wherever you saw yourself first, did it hit you a little that, okay, this has... Now things have gone to the next level now.
Yeah, actually we saw the movie for the first time on the monitor at the office because we had a big gap between, it's a spoiler, but between Australia and the last shot where we wrapped shooting all of India Scared, and then we had quite a long gap of like 3-4 months almost before we went to Australia. So Sir had shown us the film for the first time on the computer screen where he was editing. And we saw it like that, and then so it was not like, oh my god, I'm seeing it for the first time. So when I watched it on a screen for the first time, I was like, there were certain parts of it that I had already seen which were not like overwhelming me, and then there were certain parts of it that I hadn't seen that I was like, oh my god, this is really weird, but for me, like, it was always like I was very grateful, I was very happy, but I always was like one of those people who found it tough to see themselves on screen. Even Zen is another person who actually finds it quite hard. Him and I relate on this. Like Prasanna and Sahil were like they had a different reaction. It was very positive and all of that. But Zen and I were like kind of like it's really weird. It's really weird when your face is like so huge and you're like looking at every single detail. And it had come to the point where I had seen the film like 3 or 4 times because we were shooting and so we needed to see the film as a point of reference. We had little patch up stuff, and I was like just started looking at things in the background, and isne kaise kiya and how did that guy walk, just because I didn't want to look at myself so much. And I felt like the more I watched it, the more critical I got of myself. Like first time I was like, wow, nice, I like it. Second time I was like, oh, you could have done that differently, you could have done that. The third time I was like getting irritated with myself. Then I was like, let's stop. Let's not watch. It's not working for you. You're not like Prasanna and Sahil. Just move on now. Yeah, just watch the final when you can't do anything about it. Yeah.
But let me tell you, since he's talked about Zayn, if you see him dancing in Mere Ghar Pe Party Hai,
Yeah.
he's a vibe. Seeing him dance on screen is a
My
vibe.
favorite shot, okay, go back and watch this. My favorite shot of Zayn is like when we're doing the DJ and he's just like, I don't know what he's doing, I can't even do it like that. But he's just like, does this, yeah. I always like, I want to turn that into a GIF. I'm going to make it and I'm going to send it to you.
Yeah, we will make it viral.
Yeah, he's just doing this and it was so funny because I remember even when we were doing it, I think out of all of us, Zayn was the most excited about those 2 days of shoot. Like Prasanna and I, we had been shooting, it had been really long, we had a really long sked in Delhi, it was like coming to the end of it, we were exhausted. Prasanna and I were like we were done, and Zayn, like he was so excited, he had so much energy to shoot the song and he was really happy and he was the most pumped I think from all of us.
Yeah.
And you know, he's a very good dancer.
Very,
so they
very
were
good.
like
Vibe dance.
They were like just thoda okay, great. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
But when people see you, people see your uncles being in the business, your grandfather being in the business, but your mother was not an actor.
Yeah.
She was in the business as a producer, but she was never an actor.
No.
How did you kind of when you told her about that you wanted to be an actor, because it was something she wasn't doing.
Okay,
you had not seen in your immediate family.
Yeah.
You did in your extended.
Yeah,
but
my father.
Yeah, he did act in the starting a lot, but then he also turned more towards production.
Yes.
So you were a little away from that in your house.
For sure.
So how did you kind of tell them? Was there a little nervousness about telling them because you were trying to do something different?
Yes and no, because they're very supportive. They're very like they're amazing parents. They're very supportive. They never like anytime I used to tell them I want to do this, they were like, okay, whatever makes you happy. They never said anything in that sense. So I knew that when I told them, they were going to be very sweet and open-minded and welcoming about it. It was never a fear in that sense. It was more like I was scared to say that I want to do this. You know, I had my own issues that I had to deal with before I was like more, projected. I mean, said what I wanted to do with my life. And but as you said, because it wasn't like it was my mamu and it was like my other my mamus mostly and Nana also, he was in more at the back end of things like screenplay writing and all of that. So it was not a direct point of reference for me. You're right, and it wasn't like a direct thing for me. I think that's why I wasn't as relevant or as tracked as like a stars kid who's like literally tracked from birth till like every life
Everything
event
is on screen.
Yeah, nobody really knew me until I was like, I think until I started making myself get seen by me calling media and all of that, to be very honest with you.
Also,
and no, to genuinely, that's what happened.
Also, I feel Salman Khan sir is the best in this thing. He doesn't wait for official announcements, he will announce it himself. Like he had already told in the media that Alizeh is gonna be acting. That's when people started. Before even Farrey was officially announced, people knew you were acting because he told it. And I love that about him. He does not care about when is the official announcement. He decides on his own terms. But did you ever ask your mother that why did she not step into it? Because she had a opening towards it, because the family was into it, and even her brother was well established, father was well established. Did you ever ask her why she did not choose?
I don't think she was ever interested in it. I think she's always been interested on more of like the business side of things. Like she's very good at handling teams of people, working with people. She's very good at costume and styling, and that's what she's always preferred. And even from when she started working, she always worked in like advertising and production and all of that. She was never really interested in the acting side of things. I've spoken to her about it and she was like, I didn't want to do it, I never had that desire that I want to do this. It was always like I was always more interested in the back end of things. And I think it's been really good for me because my interests have become very diverse. It's not only just acting and being in front of the camera. It's the entire way a film is made. I have the knowledge of everything because of my family. So it doesn't feel like, okay, like, oh, how will I do this? How will I do that? Because at the end of the day, everything is collaborative, right? It all comes together in the end. So it's very important to know how a set works on the production side of things, on what the director's side of things are, so for you to even be good as an actor, I feel. So that has helped me a lot, and even though it kind of kept me away, I'm grateful for it, because I had a relatively normal life. Obviously, yes, I do come from privilege, and I'm completely aware of that. But I still didn't have, like, nobody knew me, nobody knew about my family. It was a good way to get a sense of reality. You know, it sounds so like stupid to say it, but sometimes, you know, when you grow up in a world like this, you're very like far away from reality sometimes, and your whole life becomes about this world, and you forget that, like, people outside of this business, they don't really know or care about half the things you're talking about. So it was really good to always be surrounded by people not from the film industry, to have friends that are actors that don't come from film backgrounds. It's taught me a very realistic, very grounded, it's given me a very realistic and grounded perspective of what I want my life to play out to be, you know.
And I feel like that's why you were still a surprise when you came on screen, because no one had seen much of you before. And I think it acted in favor of you as well. But when the response came in, personally to you, what were one or those messages, or maybe those calls, or maybe those feedbacks that stayed with you, in a sense that they made the most sense to you, or maybe they hit the most emotionally? What were those?
One call I received, which I really appreciated, was that someone, like, he was like, you know, you may be getting a lot of praise and all that, that's good, but don't settle just because you've done well. You've done your job, you got accepted the first time, you've done well, keep going. Don't think abhi tumne kiya hai to ho gaya. And don't relax. Now think, you've done well, how can I do better and better and better each time? So that was really nice, because people were being very sweet, but I wanted someone to give me that real talk, you know, and that one person was the only one that actually was like, हाँ बहुत अच्छा हो रहा है, सबने अच्छा ही बोला है, पर ये सिर्फ शुरुआत है, और डोंट थिंक कि अभी तुमने किया है तो तुम रिलैक्स कर सकते हो, अभी एक्सपेक्टेशन और बढ़ गया है, और ज्यादा हो गया है, now you have to do even better. So that was like a wake up call, like हाँ, okay, you're happy, but eventually people will forget and they will move on, and there will be better performances, and there will be better actors, and you know, you will have to keep challenging yourself, and you'll have to keep finding ways to do your work the way that you have done right now.
And when you see that today, as you said, like, there would be more actors, there would be, like, just tomorrow, there's another film coming with so many new actors. When you see the amount of talent coming in, does a little feeling of healthy competition also comes in? Or because right now I feel there is a time when a lot of people can sustain together, can coexist, having diverse works, everyone. But does a little healthy competition also comes in?
I'm not a competitive person at all. Like, you know, I've never been that. I'm not competitive. I don't know. I don't look at, I'm too, like, focused on myself and like what I'm doing and am I doing enough. I can't focus on others. Even when we play games, like, my objective is not to win. My objective is to do good with what I have. You know, that's my objective. Even when I'm playing a game, I never think, okay, I want to win. I never think that. And sometimes I try to get myself to get into this competitive, you know, like be on your toes kind of spirit, but I just can't. I don't know. I'm just not like I'm a very like, I'm happy when when there's a tie, you know, when there's a penalty and like nobody wins and both are win. I'm like, yay, they both won. Yeah, everybody's happy, you know. I'm like that kind of person. I don't like it when anyone loses or feels bad, or when someone's put down. I feel really bad. So I like everybody to be on the same level, you know. And everybody to be happy and everybody to get work. And as you said, it's such an exciting time to be in the industry right now, with the kind of content that's happening, with the kind of work that young people are getting for the first time. You're not going with big actors for big films. You're going with young, new, promising talent, and it's just amazing. And it's the perfect time to be a non-competitive person.
And that's why I said the kind of content also, because Farrey, a concept like this, no one would have thought a few years back that a person would debut with this. Like, or maybe Suhana or Khushi making Archies as their debut. Like, no one would think that going retro and having an OTT release.
Exactly.
Especially. Because people think when you are started, you will be getting a theatrical release. And I think that came on you as a responsibility also, because the film was supposed to be OTT, but it was because of the content that it came in theaters, and that time you were done shooting for it. You couldn't control it, you couldn't change anything about it.
You can't do
Did that
anything.
added a little bit more responsibility when it, especially closer to the release?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that you see, obviously everyone tells you like you're the actor, you do your job, and then you let the rest go. You don't focus on that. But of course you want your film to do well. Of course you want people to watch your movie. You want people to see your work. So yeah, you do feel like that, but you can't be so hard on yourself, I think, and you just have to be grateful for the people who took out the time and watched it and actually went, and like that's what I've done, like not that many people have watched it and not that many, but the few calls that I'm getting, I'm having very long, meaningful conversations with these people, and for me that's better. I like that. It's more quality things that, and people have actually taken the time out to do that for you, and it's not ki, zabardasti, dekhna hai to dekh liya, like that. It's like people are actually on their own thinking, okay, let's go. We read a good review. Someone said it's good. Let's go and watch it. And people have not met and spoken to in years that that I was friends with in school are reaching out to me and being like, हमने बस ऐसे ही out of curiosity गए थे देखने के लिए, but it's actually a really good film, and they're talking to me about how it's different, how it's this. So even if it's 5 people, we are really grateful, and कभी भी नहीं लगा, कभी भी नहीं at any moment did we feel कि pressure है, ये है वो है, nothing from our team, because we were like that very like हम बहुत पॉजिटिव थे. We were like in that zone कि you saw that we were very positive. We were like whatever it is, we will be like Farrey is the best movie ever. Go watch it.
Even Soumendra sir let me add.
No, we were, but we really believe it. We really believe it. We really worked very hard, and we did with the best with what we could, and we were very proud of it. And we were like, why should we not scream that we are really proud?
And guys, I have also contributed to the box office. Let me just say, I'm just not sitting here and being that. I have contributed. But before the film released, you were Salman Khan's niece, what people were seeing. But do you feel that kind of perception has somewhat started to change because of the work that you're doing, people recognizing the work that you're doing?
Yeah, for sure. One of the things is that I saw an article, organic article, so not PR wala article, that was there, that was written about me, and they actually wrote that she's finally creating her own identity, and I was like, okay, yes, like one person somewhere is like, okay, this is Alizeh's film. Like, there's all this shosha of kaun presenter hai, kisne produce kiya hai, वगैरह वगैरह. But finally, someone, or maybe more people who are not journalists, so one of them was a journalist, recognized that this is like something interesting, and I when I went to read the whole article, it said that she's kind of creating her own narrative or own identity or something like that, and I felt really grateful about that, because it was difficult for me in a project that's already being headed by my family to have that impact, because obviously I have my family's help. Of course, it is from a privilege. It is a very privileged thing to have your family's support to this extent where they really believe in you. So so I was like a bit nervous about that, and then obviously because already everybody is like associating me with my family and all of that. So when I read that one thing, it was really like I was like, एक तो किसी ने बोल दिया, so I can sleep at night now.
But I completely agree that somewhere we forget to give the benefit of their craft. I will not say benefit of the doubt, but benefit of their craft to actors who come from certain background. And I feel that's necessary. You need to acknowledge. You need to acknowledge the efforts people are putting. And I'm very glad that someone was out there who did. And I'm sure I'm going to do that the same. But thank you so much. You're doing amazingly. And really a lot of love to you. Next time when we meet, it's not going to be just then. It's going to be you first. I'm telling you. But thank you so much. Lots of love and luck.
Thank you so much. Hi, this is Alizeh and you're watching me on Bollywood Bubble.